Welcome to my Week 9 Power Rankings. This video is my opinion, but I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let's talk football. I got Arizona 32, Carolina 31, and Chicago 30. Arizona's going to go with a rookie quarterback, and it's unclear when Kyler Murray will return. Arizona's loaded with draft picks, but until Kyler Murray returns, I expect Arizona to stay at 32. Carolina got its first win of the season last week, and I knew the offense under Bryce Young was going to struggle, but I didn't expect the defense to be this bad. The defense played really well last week, and if the D continues to play well, Carolina's going to move up in my rankings, and Carolina is going to win some games. I could easily flip Carolina and Chicago, but Carolina still only has that one win. The Bears made a trade for Montez Sweat, and it only makes sense if the Bears sign him long term. If Sweat signs with another team during the free agent period, this trade is beyond dumb. I still got Chicago at 30, but they could easily move down. I got Green Bay at 29, and I wanted to put them higher on this list, but this 4-game losing streak that they are on, they average 15 points a game and 279 yards on offense, and they've only created 3 turnovers. I knew going into the season the defense wasn't going to be great, but this offense is horrific. In my opinion, Matt LaFleur's on hot seat, and the Packers got to be thinking quarterback early in next year's draft. Washington just traded 2 starters on the defensive line, already looking forward to next year. Ron Rivera is not going to stay on as both the head coach and general manager, and in my opinion, the 2024 season is pretty much done for Washington. Now, I'm fully aware Washington has 3 wins and the Giants only have 2, but it seems Washington's already looking forward to next year, and they're also a lock to make some front office moves. While the Giants will probably keep their coaching staff together, it's just the same question. Is Daniel Jones the guy? I thought this season was a prove-it season for Daniel Jones, and the Giants average 11.9 points a game, which is dead last in the NFL, so that's kind of all you need to know. The Raiders, as I am making this video, just fired their head coach and general manager, and I'm going to admit promoting Antonio Pierce to be the interim head coach is very interesting. Plus, they're going to go with Aiden O'Connell as their starting quarterback. I really liked him coming out of Purdue, but he's an old school pocket passer. He doesn't fit into the mobile quarterback mode that the NFL likes today. He is the best quarterback on the roster, and I do think the Raiders will play better down the stretch. Houston at 25 is a work in progress, and I do expect them to play better as the season progresses. The defense is playing really good right now, but I don't see them as a playoff threat this year. I was really high on New England at the beginning of the season, and the defense is still pretty good, but this offense is off. 14.8 points a game is just a joke, and while I know the Patriots have offensive line issues, when are they going to admit that Mac Jones just isn't the guy? Denver, after finally beating the Chiefs, are 23. I want to see if this is a springboard game or just a fluke. If it's a start, Denver could be a threat down the stretch, but they're still 3-5, and unless they play the Chiefs, the defense is just terrible. Indianapolis at 22 is tough because I was pushing for Gardner Minshew to be the starter this year while the Colts groom Richardson. Instead, when Richardson goes down, they have to thrust Minshew in the starting role, and you get Jonathan Taylor coming back, and he's one of my favorite players. The last 2 weeks, the Colts have scored a combined 65 points, but they lost both games. I like Gus Bradley as the defensive coordinator, but giving up 37, 39, and 38 points the last 3 games could get you fired. Colts play Carolina and New England on the road the next 2 games, and if they win the next 2 games, watch out NFL, the Colts could be on a roll. Tampa Bay at 21 is hard for me because I love their defense. It's a really good defense, but the offense is so limited. I'm expecting Todd Bowles to be fired after the season and the Bucs to look for a quarterback in the upcoming draft. The Saints are a team I still think is going to win the NFC South, and I like their defense, but I need more from the offense. I know they scored 38 last week, but I need a lot more for this offense in order for them to win the South. I do expect the Saints to move up on this list, but I'm keeping them at 20 until this offense gets on track. Atlanta's a team I can't get a good read on. They're going to go with Heineke this week against the Falcons, and I'm going to do a wait and see approach with Atlanta, but I got them at 19 right now. Minnesota at 18, I could easily put lower after losing Cousins and switching to a rookie quarterback, but you got a team that's won 3 straight without Justin Jefferson. Cleveland, and in those 3 wins, they've allowed a total of 40 points. I was really expecting them to try to make a trade to get back Dalvin Cook at the trade deadline. It didn't happen, but let's see how they do against the Falcons this week. Bottom line, the loser of Atlanta and Minnesota is going to go down, and the winner's going to go up. The Rams at 17 I might have too high, but the offense can score points, and in their 3 wins, the defense has only given up an average of 15 points a game in those 3 victories. You still have Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp is still returning to form. If you watch my picks video, I expect them to beat the Packers, and if they do go 4-5, they're right in the middle of a chance to get the wild card here in the NFC. If they lose to Green Bay, they are going to drop somewhere in the 20s, but as of right now, I feel good at 17. Tennessee impressed me with Will Levis. If you've been watching me, I've said all offseason it's just a matter of time before Levis becomes a starter. It looks like that time is now. They played Pittsburgh Thursday night, so this ranking could drop, but as of today, 16 seems fair. The Chargers might be the most talented team in football, but I think they're poorly coached, and they do have some injuries. They beat the Jets on Monday night. They're going to move up in this ranking. The Jets at 14, I am really liking. I'm a huge fan of Breece Hall, and this defense is nothing short of awesome. They've won 3 straight, and while Zach Wilson isn't getting you far in the playoffs, he can get you to the playoffs. How they do Monday night against the Chargers is going to be huge. Pittsburgh at 13, I could see being ranked too high, especially with this terrible offense and Kenny Pickett being banged up, but the defense is excellent, and Mike Tomlin's such an underrated coach. This offense has to do more, but 13 on this list is fair. Cleveland with a crazy loss at Seattle is becoming a very fun team to watch. Every week it's something exciting, and after Arizona this Sunday, they play the next 2 weeks at Baltimore and home against Pittsburgh. We'll see how good of a team they are then, but right now I got them at 12. San Francisco at 11 is tough. I like the Chase Young signing, and their best player Trent Williams should be back after the bye, and after the bye, San Francisco has a tough 5-game stretch. It's Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Philly, Seattle again. This team could have the 1 seed after those 5 games, or they could be out of the playoff picture completely, but one thing's for sure, after the bye is going to be a fun 5 weeks for the 49ers. Seattle at 10 is in first place in the NFC West, and I love the Leonard Williams trade, but even with a loss at Baltimore this Sunday, I won't have this team dropping far. This is a really good football team. I'm not sure that they're a great team, but this is a damn good team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do against the Ravens Sunday. Cincinnati may be the best team in the AFC, but they still have to overcome a slow start. Playing Buffalo at home Sunday night is going to be a lot of fun. With a win against Buffalo Sunday, I might even move the Bengals as far up as the top 5. The Lions at 8 might be too low. This is an exciting team with a really fun offense. They're 8th in points scored and 2nd in yardage. I love the fact that they've given up the 2nd fewest rushing yards in the NFL. The thing is after they got punched in the mouth by the Ravens, has me thinking that this isn't an elite team, but a really good team. After the bye week this week, the Lions are only going to play 1 team left with a winning record. If you're a Lions fan, enjoy the home playoff game, and don't be mad about being 8th on this list. Dallas at 7, I keep flip-flopping with Detroit, but top to bottom, Dallas has more talent than Detroit, and even with a loss this Sunday against the Eagles, I still may keep them here above the Lions. It's an ongoing battle I've been debating with. However, if they beat the Eagles Sunday, the Cowboys are definitely moving up on this list. Jacksonville at 6, could say that they're disrespected. They've won 5 straight, and they look really good on both sides of the ball. They're on a bye this week, and I can't wait till in 2 weeks from now they're going to play San Francisco. It's going to be a fun game. Jacksonville fans may not like the fact that I got them at 6, but it's a fair ranking. I could flip Buffalo with Jacksonville, especially since Jacksonville won in Buffalo just a few weeks ago. The thing is, right now, I just think Buffalo's a better team. This Sunday, they play Cincinnati, and with a win, they could jump over, actually, they will jump over the Dolphins-Chiefs loser, and with a loss, they could drop all the way down to maybe even outside the top 10. Today at 5 seems fair. They're 4th in points scored and 3rd in points allowed, and that's extremely impressive. This is a really good football team. Miami at 4 is the highest scoring offense in the NFL, but the defense is still a work in progress. They're going to get Javon Holland back and Jalen Ramsey against the Chiefs Sunday. I could easily put them below Buffalo and maybe even Jacksonville, but as of right now, Tyreek Hill is my NFL MVP, but everything changes Sunday when they play the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs at 3, I really didn't ding them for losing to Denver. I mean, they beat them 16 straight, so losing after 8 years I really don't think is a big deal. They'll have the AFC West wrapped up probably early December. Now Sunday against the Dolphins is a big deal because with a loss, the Chiefs are going to go into their bye week with a lot of questions, but with a win, they'll be 7-2 and at least tied for the best record in the AFC. Baltimore is number 2. They have the number 1 scoring defense, allowing only 15.1 points a game, and they can still run the ball. They're 3rd in rushing yards, and with 14 rushing touchdowns, they don't have a problem scoring. The passing game isn't elite, but it doesn't have to be with this rushing attack, and plus they still have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. The next 3 games are at home. They play Seattle, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. We get to see how good the Ravens really are after these 3 home games. If you haven't watched my picks video yet, I encourage you to check it out. Now, Philly is my number 1 team, and what they do against Dallas is going to count for next week, but not this week. Right now, Philly is the undisputed best team in the NFL. They not only have the best record, but easily the best team. Well, at least the best team after week 9. Why Jalen Hurts isn't getting more MVP love is a mystery to me. After 8 games, he has 2,140 yards passing and 6 rushing touchdowns. A.J. Brown is also a legitimate MVP candidate as well, but Hurts getting no MVP talk to me is just simply confusing. Again, watch the picks video. I released that yesterday, and drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of this video, and I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully very soon.